You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drake Queen Gaming, so if you do me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with the Let's Play episode of Echo, Jenna's Path. So, the last place we left off, we had just gotten through with the diner, we had just gone back to our place at the motel, had a good night's sleep, woke up, Leo was trying to get in, Jenna was half naked, you know, the good stuff. But anyway guys, let's see where today at the mall takes us, shall we? Alright, let's do it. Why not?
I mean, what if you want to make a career change?
I'll join the army. That way, if I do want to go back to school, it'll be real cheap with the whole GI Bill.
It's unsettling that the route so many have... It's unsettling that's the route so many have to take to get educated.
Isn't like I got a nifty tribal association scholarship. I decide this is a good time to interject. I hope this place is actually open. We approach the doors, Leo looking back at us. Moment of truth. He tugs once. It doesn't budge. Pfft, stupid thing.
It says push.
Dolph nudges the door open with one arm. Oh, yeah, I know, I was just... TJ giggles. Ooh, mall. Mall with lots of closed stores. Huh. I remember this place feeling so much bigger as a kid. Nowadays it feels kind of claustrophobic. Might just be Pueblo spoiling me, though.
Oh, geez, not very busy at all. Everything's shuttered.
Internet shopping exists now, Tej.
Oh, yeah, I figured. It's just kind of sad, that's all.
It is. Link steps off toward one of the closed shops, the perforated steel roller shutters allowing just enough visibility to peek in.
This used to be a mask shop.
I don't think Carl needs any masks unless he's got a secret bank robbing life we don't know about. Leo smiles lopsidedly. You know, he might actually want a Lucha Wolf mask or something. I remember as a kid, Carl always spouted off random wrestling facts. The fake kind, though, and most of it sounded more like soap opera storylines than actual sport. I never really got into it. But it still was funny back whenever we were facing some problem, and Carl's trademark motivational catchphrase was, suplex it! Internet modem not working? Suplex it. Fishing pole all tangled in the line? Suplex it. Having to deal with a bully? Suplex him. It was the only thing Sydney and him both got along over. They don't really make those sort of things for ram faces, Otter. I don't think he'll actually wear it. It's more like a collectible.
He has enough of that sort of stuff already. His room is already a cluttered mess. He'd just be adding to the pile. Carl sent me a picture of it over Christmas, and it looks exactly the same as it did when we were in high school.
It reminds him of better times, I suppose.
Yes, but the issue is that he doesn't actually leave his room to make some new better times for himself. He just dwells on nostalgia for video games. I haven't touched since I was 12. Yard sailing a lot of that junk might do him some good.
Leo chuckles, rubbing his forehead. Happy birthday, Carl. Instead of giving you a gift this year, we're selling your shit. I see Jenna smile, letting out a little amused huff before moving on. I realize that TJ is still standing in front of the closed mask shop. Hey, you coming? I see him bristle, startled from thought and pulled back into reality.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just knew a girl who worked here. Hope she's okay.
I nod, not really sure what to say in response to that as the feline catches up to us. We pass even more shuttered shops. Most of the pagodas are still open, but they're manned mainly by really foreign dudes who are transfixed on their cell phones. Yep. I don't blame them either. In a place like this, the shift hours must drag on. I was fortunate enough to have a part-time job as a Peyton newspaper printer in high school, and it kept me pretty busy. Plus, I got to tell people that I worked for the city paper.
Oh no, the music store is gone.
That's probably the least surprising closer yet.
I really like the physical stuff. My mom and dad sent me this vinyl record player for my birthday. We're the dorm mates and I listen to it in the common room all the time.
Tej, you a hipster now. I see TJ blink, turning to look at Leo with a little wide-eyed. God, please don't let this music be copyright.
What? No!
I don't know, Gatito. Cherry Bloom is pretty underground.
Then one of the top-selling alternative music artists of the 2000s.
Alternative is just another word for indie.
I bet TJ has an aesthetic blog. What?
I don't even know what that is, but yes, it sounds like something TJ would have. Jenna covers her muzzle with her paw, stifling her snicker. Usually she's the one to put a stop to any TJ ribbing going on, but I suppose this is lighthearted enough where she doesn't mind.
It's okay, TJ. I enjoy having physical copies of things as well, especially now that I'm living alone at Pueblo. I don't have to worry about anyone going into my room and pawning my stuff.
She says this so nonchalantly, but I remember how horrible and common that problem was for her. Leo and Flynn helped her install a lock on her door, but then her parents just took the door itself away a week later.
I'm not looking forward to having to pack it all up for the move to Weston, though.
I'll stop by and help you pack when the time comes. I say that with a bit more finality than intended, and it makes me feel a little sad. It's like Jen and I barely ever hung out while we had the chance, and now we might never again.
That'd be nice of you, Chase. Thank you.
I force a smile and nod. She perks a brow in my direction. As TJ and Leo have a back and forth about how many times the Lynx has worn flannel, Jenna hangs back a bit to walk alongside me. She reaches over, gingerly grasping onto my wrist. I feel her thumb across my forearm, and it's like electricity, first standing up around my collar. At first I think she's just trying to get my attention, which she certainly now has, but her touch is more reassuring than firm. I watch Leo gesticulate wildly with his back turned in front of me, and I can feel my heart thud in my chest. I expect Jenna to say something, but she's completely silent. God, I'm the guy here. I'm the one supposed to be taking charge with this sort of thing, right? But here I am, pink-eared like a blushing bride, having my wrist held by a girl. My nostrils flare some and I pull away, Jenna giving me an indiscernible look. I reach over and fully take her paw in mine, squeezing some. A wry expression crosses her face and I feel her hip bump into my thigh. Oh, Lord, look at that flirting. Look at that flirting! You kids keep it PG-13 in here. She's so short, but she certainly doesn't act like it in any way. The stereotype about meek Phoenix is completely untrue.
Oh, damn it.
She wriggles free from my grasp with surprising deftness, pointing ahead. Sure enough, Birchfire Comics is completely gone, the interior dark and empty behind the chain-link roller grill. She sighs, crossing her arms over her chest. Her turquoise eyes shift sideward. Shit, that sucks. I'm sorry, Jenna. She straightens suddenly, then walks ahead of me.
I'm gonna go with TJ and find him a bathroom to wash his
Pause. I see her walk up beside the two in front of us. She nudges TJ, saying something to him and Leo before they move off in the direction of the food court. I can't believe TJ's about 20 years old at this point and still getting babied by her. Leo is left standing there, his paws in his pockets and his face devoid of expression. He looks back at me, putting on a tepid smile. Want to check out the family plex? I shrug noncommittally. You guys said it yourself. There's no rush. I'm hit with realization, and I furrow my brow up at him. You heard that? He just maintains a smile and beckons me along before turning. Oh no, there's no one here. Oh wow, what a common theme running through this mall. So, despite being open, the Plex certainly doesn't look like it should be. The carpet is musty, everything smells like mildew, and the game machines are decades old, and the roller rink is scratched up to all hell. Leo stops next to a claw prize machine and fishes around in his pocket for quarters. What is an aesthetic blog? It takes me a moment to register what he's asking, and I can't help but be tickled a bit by the question. I know for a fact that Leo spends a lot of time on the internet, but mainly on mainstream sites, sports, music, that sort of thing. It's like an ongoing online page that you update with stuff that sort of corresponds to a mood or a feeling. He slides 2 quarters into the machine, then grabs the control stick. A few lights in the machine begin to glow and flash, moving in a pattern around the glass window. About half the bulbs are burnt out. Oh, I have one of those. You do? Yeah, but it's mainly porn, though. He makes a lewd, jerking motion with the control stick, and I put at slight unease, noting that this machine is meant for children. Leo, what are you doing, Leo? Well, better than storing it all in your sample music folder, I suppose. Actually, I got caught with that, you know.
Damn it, I told you!
Yeah, Otter, I know. My little nephew, Eduardo, wanted to play games on my computer, and he started clicking around on the recent files thing.
Oh my god, Leo, he's like 10!
He furrows his brow, moving the crane some absently. He's 13.
His dad is your really religious brother, too, right?
Yeah. Jesus. Hey, ain't nearly as bad as getting caught cock and paw by the Padres while watching Fox Horse gay porn. I cringed, covering my face. Ah! Hey, look! I pull my paws away from my face to see Leo point to something in the machine. I squint, and in the midst of puzzle cubes and spinner toys, a boxed Lucha Wolf figure rests. Leo shifts his gaze towards me and grins. I see him navigate the crane perpendicular with the box's point of rest. He hits the lowering button. The metal claw descends into the pit of cheap toys, clenching down upon the cardboard edge of the box. It tugs at it slightly, but it loses grasp and returns to its point of rest. Fah! Shit. Let me have a go. I reach into my back pocket for my wallet, but Leo is already putting 2 more coins in. He gestures to the machine and tips an invisible hat in my direction. I find myself rolling my eyes a little as I take position. Thanks. I decide this time I'm going to try to grab it from one of the corners. It might not be enough to pick it up completely, but it will pull it from the rest of the toy pile for future tries. Speaking of, I try to line up the crane just right, eyeing through the dusty glass from multiple angles to get a good idea of positioning. Now that I don't have you so anchored down, or however the fuck you want to see it as, I pause my paw over the lower button. You let any other guys fuck you at Pueblo? Any big stallion types like the ones in your porn? The tone in his voice, it is definitely one that I haven't heard in years. Seems to carry an extra intense edge. Christ, Leo, no! You haven't had sex in 3 years? You must be really pent up, huh? He laughs breathily. I exhale, trying to keep my nerve. I go ahead and press the button, the crane lowering the claw down once again. You don't have to lie to me, yeah? I just want the truth. The claw pushes the box down further. It's seeming to have different levels of how low it starts grasping. However, it doesn't even grasp this time. The crane just keeps lowering the claw. We can't even see the figurine anymore. Not that Leo is paying any attention. If you like girls now, you can tell me. I feel him now. His thighs against my behind. The familiar firmness upon the small of my back. Oh, God, Leo, don't do that. Man, that's creepy. I stare at the machine. The claw still hasn't come up yet. Leo. His paw takes my head. No. Can you fuck off? What? Wow. Leo's paws are off me now. The wolf turns to face the others. How long have you two been here?
Long enough.
I was just trying to...
I thought you were better than this sort of behavior, Leo.
This was a private conversation, huh?
That Chase clearly didn't want to be a part of.
Well, I didn't know that until just now. You go, Chase. Let's see what was that. I'm still reeling from what just happened, from Leah's behavior, from my own words. Oh, wait, hold up. Something before that. He looks back at me. His eyes are wide and his shoulders are raised up high, the wolf visibly tense. I say nothing. He sucks in his jowls, trying to put on a smile. We found a present for Carl in this crane machine here. A lucha guy, yeah? TJ leans to peer inside the machine.
I don't see it.
The claw and crane are back at their starting positions. Yeah, well, Chula here beside me must have buried it somehow.
Buried it?
You know what I mean, Tej. He shrugs, visibly not knowing what Leo means. Jenna gives Leo a look I don't quite catch before stepping up to the machine. She squints, looking over the pile of toys.
No, I see it. That green and purple cardboard thing in the middle beneath the Mothman plushie.
She reaches into her purse, sifting through it for a moment before finding 2 quarters. We all just sort of stand there, staring at her as the lights flash around the window, illuminating her features with golden glow. She fiddles with it a lot longer than I did, 30 seconds passing before she actually hits the lower button. The claw descends, pushing through the muck of the plush and plastic. The sound of metal scraping the box is audible, even if it's difficult to see what is happening. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see that Leo's facade of a smile is completely dissipated. He looks at me, though his gaze is unfocused. It's like he's trying to numb himself, but it isn't working. The claw finally lifts, the metal prongs clutching the central mass of the figurine container and carrying it to the drop slot. With a satisfying clunk, the box falls in and the crane returns to its default position. Leo's form stiffens. Leo's form stiffens. He stares at the machine, Jenna, and then me again. He crosses his arms and I see his face start to shake. His eyes clench shut. I'll be in the fucking van. Ooh. As he leaves, Leo smacks a nearby pinball machine so hard the glass cracks. TJ stands there with his paws behind his head, maw agape. And so the real Leo reveals himself. Oh my goodness. TJ walks over to the pinball machine, bending down to gather up what splintered glass there is in front of his shirt. I watch Leo trudge off around the corner, though I can still hear his heavy footfalls for a while after. I wait a bit, just to make sure he's really gone. Jenna, meanwhile, steps up, handing me the boxed figurine. So, is there a crappy boardwalk game that you can't beat? Despite what just happened, I see a flicker of a smile tug at the corner of her lips. Well, all you have to do is hook the claw where the cardboard meets the plastic. Yeah, that's a pretty good, yep, I can see that. Her gaze shifts from the broken glass on the tacky carpet to the crane machine. That way it gets latched in the grooves of the box and doesn't drop. I had a lot of practice with my summer job, but you did most of the work for me by putting it into position. Good job. She moves past me, patting my back some before kneeling down beside TJ and helping him clean up. I turn to face her again. You should be the one to give it to Carl. After all, you're the one who won it for him. No, then I'd be a hypocrite after what I said earlier about his clutter problem. He liked this from you, though. Yeah, I guess. We should probably hurry before someone besides us decides to visit this mall. I peer around, checking to make sure that we're the only people in here still. I see coffee sitting on the service desk, so whoever's managing this place today might be back soon. And before Leo decides to drive off without us. He wouldn't do that. TJ gathers a glass from his shirt and places it in a small pile on the bench nearby. Jenna does the same. Yes, well, I'd rather not tip the odds or the potential 30-mile outside city limits cab fare. Should we leave some money for the pinball machine repair? No, TJ, it's all right. None of us should have to deal with Leo's mess more than we already have. Yeah, really. I rest my head against the passenger window as I balance the cheap fast food place red velvet cake in my lap. This is one of the most awkward rides I've ever been in. Everyone is completely silent. TJ's previous attempts to lighten the mood having been received with idle grunts and nods. My stomach hurts and I have this nauseous feeling that keeps bubbling up when I think about what happened. Leo and I have squabbled in the past, sure, but never like this. Most of the time we fought about video game shit, politics, and sports. The worst it ever got was when the topic of leaving Echo came up. I danced around answering it for as long as I could, and the truth came out in the worst way possible. But now it's different. I've never felt such contempt for him before like I did when he pressed against me, interrogating me like I belonged to him. He probably thought I'd just bend over against his crane machine for old time's sake. Watching him from the corner of my eye now, I see him trying to keep his ears up, but they keep pinning back down. I'm stuck in the shitty feeling of being pissed at Leo and ashamed of myself. He shouldn't have acted that way, but I know it just hurt him in a manner that I haven't done in a long time. Being stuck in a car with someone who is thinking about you and you're thinking about them and you're both hurting is hell. I really wish I brought my headphones. I stare out the window as we roll down the first dirt road into Echo. Yeah, also being stuck in a car with someone you're arguing politics with is also hell. Every street, every corner, every trailer, and every tree has a memory attached to it. There, in the middle of the dusty parking lot that belonged to the corner market, is a tiny stand. That used to be where I get ice cream after begging for $1 from my parents. It's crumbled and boarded up now, the paint peeling off in tiny chips. And there in front of Duke's house is a big flat rock that Jenna was standing on when she told me she was going to run away from home. Is that it right there? I can still remember almost exactly how she was silhouetted against the red sunset behind her. In the old train yard where I kissed Leo for the first time after staying up all night at our first real party. I look over at Leo. He's got one hand on the wheel, glancing up the rearview mirror occasionally. He hasn't so much as looked at me since the family plex, though I see him staring at Jenna now. She catches his gaze, somehow returning it with an even more curt look. Carl probably still isn't even awake yet. Do you have a plan if he doesn't answer the door? We'll call him then.
And what if he doesn't answer his phone? Will you shatter the window too?
Leo's muzzle pulls into a snarl. I hear him mutter something I can't quite discern. He shifts focus back on the road, his knuckles tight on the steering wheel.
Not a good move, Jenna. Don't do that. Don't antagonize the guy while he's driving.
TJ gives another go at trying to fill the silence.
Well, I don't think this will go too badly. It's just like we're hanging out again. Nothing wrong with that. I agree, TJ. Though I do think this is perhaps a bit poorly planned. It should be an alright time. I haven't been to Carl's in so long. The car starts slowing down, and I snap out of my daydreaming to look up, knowing that we definitely weren't at Carl's house yet. That's when I see a canine figure standing further up on the side of the road. Yep, Janice. She's standing in the dirt that separates the road and the field in front of a broken and rusted barbed wire fence.
I think that's Janice.
Nope. And perfect timing. Alright. Nice. Alright, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. This episode definitely had a lot going for it. Oh, man. Leo is still acting like he owns Chase. Not good, Leo. Not good. You don't own the otter. The otter is his own free man. Or his own free otter. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!